Data import and export. Scripts. You can make your ImpEx more dynamic with the scripting feature. Scripts can be written in Bean Shell, Groovy, or JavaScript languages. Scripts are started with control markers such as before, after each, or if. In script, you can use the import reader object that is responsible for the ImpEx processing. With import reader, you can get the last imported item, include the lines from external files, insert the line, change the validation mode, or log the messages. With the Get Last Imported Item method, you can do additional changes after the value line was processed. With After Each marker, this action will happen to every item, but without it, the script will be executed only once. In single-threaded import, such action will happen for desired item, while in multi-threaded for random. It is possible to include the data from the SQL table to your ImpEx. This is done with the Include SQL Data method. The first option of use is to provide all needed for connection data alongside with query. The second option is to call the init database connection method first and provide the query later. Apart from SQL, you can include the data from other sources, like file. This is done with the Include External Data method. Other source for including data can be media file. Here I've created ImpEx Media and included it using the Include External Data Media method. And here is the service method that I've used and the file itself. Other ImpEx files can also be included to the ImpEx file. This is done via Import Data method. Sometimes there are cases when you can't arrange the order of execution for your ImpEx files. In such cases, you can create one file having ordered import lines. This way, you can ensure that order will be kept. Scripts can be used to generate new lines for the ImpEx. For example, you want to have some lines generated by the code. This can be done in script, collected as the map, and then inserted as a value line. Before the execution, ImpEx files are validated. For import, there are two validation modes. Default is strict. It will fail if mandatory columns are missing. And with relaxed mode, you can leave essential fields as empty. For exports, there are three validation modes. Default is export only. It has no validation and is not designed for Hybris re-import. Export strict ensures that output will comply with import strict rules, and export relaxed will comply with the relaxed rules. Validation mode can be changed inside ImpEx using the Set Validation Mode method or Set Relaxed Mode to True. In complex cases, ImpEx files are huge and having lots of interdependencies. If import is processed in the multi-threaded mode, some imports may fail, as dependencies declared earlier were not imported yet. For such cases, there is dumping mechanism. It writes list of failed lines and tries to import them again. If after next run the amount of failed lines decreased, new run for newly failed lines will happen. Once list of failed lines is same, import is finished as failed. Scripts are executed during the first run. For single thread import, dumping can be disabled. It's possible to use logging inside the ImpEx. Just write ImpEx and level like ImpEx info or ImpEx error. Now let's have a look on the export. It is used way less than import and having less features. Still, it's a valuable part of the Hybris suite. Items can be exported by plain primary keys or by collection of items, but as Jallo. Items can also be exported by the certain type. To include the subtypes, additional Boolean flag should be provided. Items for export can be retrieved with flexible search query. This is done via export items flexible search method. For more complex case, apart from the query, you can provide query parameters and tagging. As for import, user rights are special case for export as well. User rights are exported by type and will export all available user rights. To configure the output file, the setTargetFile method can be used. Here you can choose the output's file name, header, offset, and the amount of lines to skip. That's it for the scripts in ImpEx.